Morning, everybody. Tom Perrone, strongholdtraining.com, making another one of these irritating selfie videos. Now, I know some of you are like, man, I can't believe Tom is making these in-car selfie videos. Why would he do that? Well, first of all, I do that because I can't afford to have an expensive camera crew taking the video for me. So I got to take it myself. So you can hate on that. I also do it in my car because I actually have a studio at my office where I can shoot video. You've probably seen some of those. But I only get like 6 hours a week, and usually that's on weekends, to shoot videos there. So I usually use that time for online training. So when I'm in my car, I hook up my camera here, and I focus on driving while talking. So just so you know, it's totally safe, and that's why I do that. All right, enough justifying my video. What am I going to talk to you about today? So I'm on my way to a client to do some team building. I get called in a lot to do team building exercises. I think they're really helpful. I think every company should do them. You don't need to pay me money to come in and do team building. You can do it without me. If I can help you with that, great. I mean, I got a lot of practice doing that. I got some great exercises for that. But, you know, the fact of the matter is you need to be building your teams. The problem is I'm usually coming in doing team building when there's problems. And oftentimes it's almost even a passive-aggressive solution for handling issues. And I can tell you, if you got team issues, you should probably be real direct with them, not just call in a third-party team builder to try to solve them. But that said, ongoing, consistent team building exercises are excellent for your company. So do that. If I can help you, great. If not, do it on your own. So I'm going to walk you through the exercise that I'm about to go do with these folks. It's nothing that fancy. You can go and do this with your own team and get them working together a little better. So the principle behind this is gratitude. The fact of the matter is I imagine everyone watching this video believes that gratitude is powerful, that if we are grateful for what we have in life, that we will be happier. You know, it's a pretty amazing concept that if I appreciate what I have and I focus on my appreciation for what I have, I become happier. So I've got a little exercise that kind of warms up the gratitude meter in people's lives concerning their workplace. So what you do is you get everyone sitting around and you say, guys, why do you come to work? And you tell them, be honest. Like, nobody cares if you just say a paycheck. Like, it's cool. Just say it. But you probably got like a few reasons why you come to work, right? So you have them all write it down. And because you say, you know, put a few reasons down, they'll put like the paycheck will be there, right? The fact that they have a commitment to come to work will be there. They'll say they come to work for their family, make sure that they, you know, survive. And then they'll put other stuff like we come to work for the team, we come to work for the customer. Some people might say like we come to work for the mission, we come to work because we like our boss, we like what we do, we come to work because we have career ambitions. And if they get kind of stuck, you got to give them some of those categories, kind of help them along. And for the most part, those are kind of the things they'll come up with. Like, all right, you kind of have everyone read those out loud. All right, we got kind of the reasons we all come to work. And now we're going to start to challenge them a little bit. We're going to be like, all right, I want you to rank them today. Right? Like, why do you come to work today? Or in the last like 2 or 3 months, what's been the main reason you've come to work? I mean, you've probably got months where you come to work because you just love being here and you love the team and you love the mission. And you probably got some weeks where you're coming here because you have to have a paycheck. So kind of rank them on average why you're coming. And some people will get uncomfortable for this because they don't want to seem like they're not positive, like they're not dumb. They understand the challenges here, but hopefully you fostered enough trust through this exercise that you start to see that. It's up to you whether or not you have them share that. You don't have to necessarily have them write down, rank it, or they can just rank it in their own mind, or you can have them rank it. So once you have that, then you say okay, so you know why you're coming to work now. We've got the categories, you've ranked it in your own mind or on paper. Next, what you do is you say, let's kind of think now in form of a different illustration. And this is what it is. You're going to say, why do we eat? Why do we eat? And you're going to just go to this little whiteboard or a piece of paper, a little sticky on the wall, and put, well, we know we eat so that we can survive. You'll put that, right? We know we eat because we're hungry. We know we eat because we enjoy food. We know we eat because we enjoy the company of eating with others. And you start to list out all these reasons why you eat food. And then you're gonna point out the comparable between this and coming to work. That if we only ate to survive all the time, it would be a pretty miserable experience. And you'll draw the illustration or tell a story about how sometimes you're just grabbing some food real quick and you're not really enjoying it. And then sometimes you sit down and you really enjoy and savor a meal. You'll ask the question, which gives you more joy? And they'll say, oh, of course, the savory meal. And you go, man, wouldn't it be great if you could savor every meal? But what we tend to do is only savor like the steak in the expensive restaurant or Thanksgiving and things like that. But what if we were the type of people that savored a somewhat mundane breakfast every morning? What if we savored that? What if we had that level of gratitude? People are like, oh, that would be great, you know? And you're just going to point out this illustration that the people in life that we come across that are kind of negative about things and unappreciative, and they only savor the steak, and they kind of gripe about, or they're just not happy with their normal mundane breakfast. Those people are generally not real inspirational, not real happy people. They're not really people we necessarily want to be around. It may not bother us, but they're just not necessarily really admirable. And fact matter is that they're kind of common man, right? They're only happy when things are really good, and so they just kind of bounce through life waiting for the next steak opportunity. But then there's those rare people that you meet, right? Those rare people that they really appreciate everything. It's like they just got this attitude of gratitude. They really appreciate this. They savor the mundane oatmeal of the morning. What about those people is significant, other than the fact that we probably think, man, that's almost weird. Like, how do they do that? But those people that do that are some of the happiest people you can ever encounter. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. You kind of point that out to them. Like, you see those people, they just like radiate with joy. And those are the people that wake up in the morning and they appreciate their breakfast. You know, man, wouldn't it be great if I could have that level of joy? And you tell them, you know, it's really just a practice of living. Imagine if before you ate your oatmeal every morning or your dry toast, you just really thought about, you forced your mind to think about how grateful you are to have a meal, how grateful you are that you enjoy this, that it isn't like, you don't have to like choke it down, that you actually do want to eat it, that you're satisfying hunger, that you're able to rest and focus on just this process of eating. And all of a sudden, not only would the oatmeal and the toast taste better, but you would start to gain some joy. And that starts to radiate in your life. But that you have to point out, and you have to kind of protect their integrity with this too. This doesn't come natural. So a lot of people will be like, oh man, I'm a good person. I'm not like a mean and miserable person. Yeah, I get it. But are we really experiencing joy in these things? Wouldn't it be kind of cool if we did? And you got to point out it's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's not natural. Those people who enjoy everything in life like that, who are that level of grateful, have that level of gratitude, they're not normal. We don't see those people every single day. You got to work at it. You got to really work at it. But where we spend most of our time is at work. So if there's anywhere to really work on it, it's there. So what you do is you point out and you rank up on the board there these elements of why we eat. And so you'll put, like, if the number one reason we're eating half the time is just to survive, it's not really joyful. If the number two reason we're eating is because we have to, so we're not hungry, that's not really joyful. If the number three reason we're eating every day is because we want to, and number four is because we enjoy the food, and you start to see that, like, the top reason I'm eating oftentimes isn't necessarily the thing that's bringing me most joy. All I have to do is flip this script. What if my mindset was, and I practiced this mindset, I'm going to eat because I enjoy it. And I categorize it. I go, I know I have to eat, but I'm going to eat because I'm going to enjoy it. So I have to make sure that I'm thinking, I'm conscious, I'm mindful about enjoying my food when I'm eating. And I'm going to practice that principle every time I eat now. How powerful would that be after a week? And you encourage them to do that with their breakfast, to go forward as a way of implementing this. And then you flip it to the team thing again. If the number one reason I come to work oftentimes is to get a paycheck, well, I could appreciate that, and I should appreciate that. But if the number, say 5 reason I'm coming to work is because I'm fulfilling a mission, and if the number 4 reason I'm coming to work is because I like the people I work with, let's flip that. How about I'm mindful on my drive into work in the morning about the mission? I'm going to help customers. I'm going to make people's lives a better place. And you may feel some resistance to that. You might be like, I don't really care about that like I used to. And that's because we haven't practiced this mindset. And then if the number 4 reason is others, are we driving to work thinking about all the crap we have to do and how we don't really want to be there and we'd rather be home? Or are we driving to work looking forward to seeing our team members? And the truth is, we'll all admit we like our team, but are we mindful? Are we focused on how we like our team? Is this some sort of mental brainwashing with the company is the only one who benefits? No. This is called gratitude, the practice of gratitude, and we benefit because now we are people who are joyful coming to work. We're kind. We treat others better. We're an inspiration. And the fact of the matter is we just enjoy the heck out of coming to work all of a sudden. But to be fair, to be honest, and to be direct with you, this takes time to cultivate. You have to really practice this mindset. The good news is it gets easier and easier and easier. You're going to remap your brain. The brain gets grooves as you think. And when you come to work and you are not thinking positively, you're actually training your brain to not like coming to work. And eventually we get to a place where we leave and we go somewhere else. That forces our brain to remap. It kind of wipes the slate clean. And while that might be helpful, eventually your brain is just going to remap that you don't like coming to that place. And you may have experienced that. The solution, start remapping your brain. You can actually be grateful in any situation. What an incredible power to be grateful in any situation. Many of you may make gratitude lists every day for that very reason. And oftentimes you may put your family or whatever as your gratitude. But this is something that you have to really force and practice. Now, just because I'm sitting here telling you this doesn't mean that I live my life and I practice this perfectly in all that I do. I don't. But I have done it enough and coached enough people through it to know how powerful it really is. And that just changing the perspective of a team in this way is very powerful, because what they'll start to become is mindful that they have practiced negativity. And you have to point that out, that we're either practicing one or the other. This isn't just a new thing we start doing as a team. But if we're not doing it, that we're actually practicing negativity. If we're routinely thinking ill thoughts of our team members, we're thinking how that's unfair, we're thinking negative thoughts about the work environment. Now, we don't want to ignore every problem in the work environment. We do want to address them. But our mindset needs to be grateful for what we have if we really want to affect change in a positive way. Sometimes this can be really difficult. You might be so frustrated at work. This is so really difficult. And I'm not saying ignore the problems. We do need to address them. But we also need to find what we can be grateful for, or we may make the problems worse than they are, and we may miss the good things that are actually there. So this is a nice little team building exercise of gratitude. You kind of get them doing it. You make them kind of sit down and go through the things they're grateful for and explain them, get those grooves starting to work. And then what's great about this team building exercise is one you can return to. Like every Friday, you have team gratitude hour. Every Friday, you come back to it. It's really effective. Encourage you to do it. If I can help you build your team, I'm here. Otherwise, happy Thursday to everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Be grateful for all that you have. There's tons to be grateful for every single day. It is a wonderful world we live in. See you next time.